Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night stream. We'll give it a minute for people to join us. Our typical Saturday stream was bogarted by Jordan and the team because they're doing a cool special, I believe it's going to be on YouTube event, starting at 8 p.m. this Saturday. So keep an eye out for that. Join our Discord to get more information on that. But because that is taking over our Saturdays, I just moved ours to Thursday. We're going to give it a minute, give it a couple minutes here before we jump in and get started. Oh, let me make an announcement over on Discord. Thanks. Everyone, everyone, we are live. And drop that link one more time in there. Awesome. Let's see, anything in the support I can take a look at and answer at the start of our stream? Nothing recently. Awesome. A couple days ago, and it was answered. What about in our general chat? Earlier today, earlier yesterday. Looks like most of that was answered. MetaTailor is at GDC. I don't know if they're there. It's going on for, I think, one more day? One more day? I'm not there. I'm not cool enough. Yeah, one more day. Tomorrow. Last day. But if you're in the area, if you're visiting, if our booth is still up, come say hi. I know Jordan was meeting people the other day. We're just waiting before we jump into it. Hello. Oh, look at that. We got 5 people. Hi, everybody. Y'all jumped in. We're just giving it a couple minutes before we get started. We're taking a look at the Mesh Extractor today. The last couple of videos have been focusing on avatar importing, clothing importing. Today we're looking at a feature that's a little less talked about, the Mesh Extractor. We played with it a little bit last time with Karlak and doing the Mesh Extractor for her tail, her horns, her hair. Today we're going to focus on a couple models where maybe we won't be bringing in the avatar, but we can use the Mesh Extractor to really pull the outfit in really easily. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that, see how that works for us. I got 4 characters total. I gave them a little test. It looks like they'll work just fine. Some of them are pulled off of Sketchfab. Some of them are pulled off of regular Fab. That's the only place I grabbed them from this week. I did not grab them from DeviantArt. But thank you all for joining us here today on Thursday. Typically, we run our stream on Saturday nights at 9 o'clock p.m. However, this Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m., Jordan has bogarted our time slot. He has stolen it from me. How dare he? But look out for that event. That event is posted on Discord. Make sure you join us on our Discord channel. It's a fantastic channel. We are going to be kind of talking about our creative character for MetaTailor integration. So Jordan will be taking over that Saturday. But we like to keep our live Q&A going, so that is why we are here today on Thursday. Like I said, just waiting for a couple people, but we're doing pretty good. We got more people coming in and joining us. We'll jump into it here in just a moment. If you're going to, excuse me, if you're going to GDC either tomorrow, today is pretty much done. Right? I mean, it's still 7 o'clock out there, if I'm doing my math right. But if you're going to GDC, make sure you shoot out in the general chat, see if you can't meet up with anybody who is there as well. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. We'll get started here in just a second. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell. Join us for our other live streams. Next weekend, I don't know what the plan is. I do know that I will not be around that Saturday, but I will be back April 5th for my live stream. But Jordan or one of our other amazing MetaTailor magicians might be streaming next week. And then I'm back in for every Saturday after that. I don't see another one that I would not be participating in. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So like I was saying at the start of the stream, today we're looking at the Mesh Extractor. The Mesh Extractor is a feature we've seen as we've imported avatars. Specifically, last week we played with it a little bit with Karlach, bringing in her horns and her hair as separate meshes, separate features as we were importing it in. It's actually gotten a little bit of a facelift since then, so we can show that off to you. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump into it and take a look at some of the avatars I've grabbed for today. I have 4. I have just kind of 2-ish. Let's see. I've got a kind of a character who's in survival gear. I've got a character that's kind of like a medieval peasant, kind of civilian kind of look to it. I've got like a World War II Japanese soldier and a person who's in a full-on SWAT kit. That's what we're going to be importing. I practiced with a couple of them earlier today, making sure they would work and look good for us. So let's cross our fingers and make sure and hope we don't run into any other hiccups or bumps along the way. All of these characters, I'm pretty sure, were pulled off of Fab. I said Sketchfab earlier, but I don't actually recall grabbing anything off of Sketchfab. So you can find all 4 of these characters on Fab for free. Everything I import in, I try to make it free. I don't want to go out there and get something that's hidden behind a paywall. So if you wanted to follow along with me or you were interested in anything that I'm working on, feel free to reach out through the MetaTailor Discord channel. Ask me. I'll be happy to send you the files that I have access to and you can play with or get any of the outfits you see in this wonderful spread we have right here. So let's go ahead and hit new project. I'm just going to call this one. We'll do the SWAT guy school. I'll probably save him for the end because he also might have the most issues. Let's do this civilian first. I'll call it the peasant because that's more fun. All right, so our Mesh Extractor is actually hidden underneath import and avatar. So we're going to import this as if it's an avatar. We'll go to our desktop and we can see right here is our peasant. Grab our source, and I did have to take this through Mixamo. I cannot stress enough, the last 5 or 6 models that I have brought in to MetaTailor, I've had to quick create the avatars rigs in Mixamo. It is such an easy process. We have videos out there on how to do that. Feel free to reach out over, once again, Discord or in the YouTube comments down below, and we'll be happy to send those links to you if you're interested. But if you've got any mesh, any avatar, and you need to give it a rig for it to work inside of MetaTailor, Mixamo is the way to go. Mixamo is a free website. I'll quick pull it up and show you as well. It's a free website. I was logged in earlier. You can see here is this actual civilian. That's the last one I created. But you just upload your character. You place about 6 landmarks total. And then you'll, be able to see it with any of these animations. But not only that, then this will be ready to rig and download and brought into MetaTailor. And you can see the MetaTailor animations on there. The Mixamo rig works with our MetaTailor animations. I'll go ahead and delete this right here. And you can see you've got this upload a character option. And this is where you drop your FBX file to get that set up. Then you just hit download. And you just download an FBX and a T-pose or its original bind pose and hit download. And that's exactly what I did for 3 out of 4 of these rigs today. So that's Mixamo. I can't stress enough how easy that makes getting avatars you pull off the web into MetaTailor. All right, let's take a look here. I've got a couple outfit options here. I'm going to go ahead and color, peasant, go to our textures. So this is body, civilian, body diffuse. Get that in there. All right, cool. He's got a little bit of a goatee. Civilian, body normal. I don't need to worry too much about the body because I'm actually not importing the body. So I'll actually stop right there. We're not going to be using the body. We will be using everything else, though. There's civilian top, civilian bottom, diffuse. His pants, civilian bottom, normal. Metalness is going to be our glossiness, I believe. Might have mixed it up from last week. Roughness is going to be our specularity. There's those guys right there. I can take my metallic up a little bit. There really shouldn't be much because they're a pair of pants, but there you go. So those are the bottoms. Get the mustache, color, beard. Oh, mustache right there. Making sure I'm using the right one. There we go. Normal. Yeah, I guess it has some specular to it. All right, grab the shoes. I saw those at the bottom there. Shoes diffuse. Shoes diffuse. Shoes normal. Shoes. Those are looking pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and go to our top. So you're seeing I'm just going item by item, line item by line item. Color, civilian, top is going to be the actual top, not the top of his head. I was thinking like top because he's got this top braid. But no, top is going to be his actual top. Top, normal. Just adds so much to it. He's a very low poly character, so getting these normal maps and everything else in here is really important. Looks like the value of these are not pushed all the way. Ooh, that might be too glossy. I mean, I know it's supposed to be metal. Metal will give you the glossy. Just looks a little wet. Hey, not too bad. All right, let's take a look at the beard and the hair. Wrap those up. Color, this is beard. Right there. Adding a little bit right there. Normal map for the beard. Probably leave it at that because we can bring in the hair and the beard. Beards are weird. Let's grab the hair. We can definitely bring in the hair and its pieces. That always looks cool. All right, so there we go. Here we have our avatar. Now, this avatar was not built in a MetaTailor friendly way. And by that, I mean, what do you got? We got a SWAT team member today. Loopy, stick around. We'll do that one. I'll do that one next for you. I was going to save it for the end, but we'll do that one next for you. Actual police outfits, I haven't found a good one. If you find a good one, send it to me, and I'll happily do that. But yeah, no, I can show you how to do a SWAT one today. We did another SWAT one earlier in an earlier stream, and I'll show you that in a second. But stick around, Loopy. I'll do that for you. All right, so like I said, this is not a MetaTailor friendly avatar. And by that, I mean there's no body underneath this shirt. There's no body underneath these pants or boots. It's just an outfit with the head and the hands attached. So I'm truly using this mesh extractor not for the avatar, but to kind of pull in all of these clothes at once and separate them out in a quick, easy way. This is great if you've got a character with a lot of complicated parts and you kind of want to visualize it and ID it out. So let's go ahead and hit next step and look at the parts. Oh, come on. I know I split this. All right. Put all that work in. Reset groups. Let's take a peek at my MetaTailor. It was fine earlier. I meant at my file in Maya. I wonder if Mixamo squished it all back together. So we'll peek at Maya here real quick. Let's take a peeksy-weeksy. I might have grabbed the wrong one. That might have been why. I might have grabbed Civ 3 instead of my Civ FBX because he's all separated. Let's give that a quick peek. That's all correct. It's got the Mixamo rig. Did I accidentally grab the original one? Cancel. Import, avatar. I thought I grabbed that one. Let's see. Next step. Yep, there it is. There's the correct one. So after all that, I had originally grabbed the wrong one. I'll only do the textures here real quick. I won't do the normal maps. All right, there's the top. There we go. So a quick import of all those again. Now I go to next step, and you can see here is our Mesh Extractor. It allows you to kind of decide what you want to bring in. So you can go ahead and click on Beard 1, and that brings in the mustache and the beard. And you can select your category. The beard would probably be head, if that would allow me to bring it in. And if you want to rename it to something like goatee, you can. But like I said, beards are weird, and I don't know how MetaTailor will handle a beard. We've got a belt right here. I can change the color of our belt. Our belt is actually hidden underneath the tunic here. It is a belt for the pants itself. So right now we can't see it, but if I go ahead and take off the tunic, you can see there's the belt right there. Belt, and I'll change that to a belt, and I'll turn our tunic back on. Let's grab our boots. And so for each one you're bringing in, you're gonna wanna change the color and the category. Where are my shoes? There we go. I was looking for boots. So I can clear the eyes. I'm not going to bring the eyes in. I'm not going to bring the head in. I can clear both of those. I'm not going to bring those teeth in. I can hide all of that. There's also lashes. I can hide our lashes. If I wanted to bring the hair in as a kind of a conjoined piece where it has to have both of these, I can create that as red. Or I can start to give this its own color. Hair 1, call it top shaved braid. And I'd put that under hair. Grab our hands, go through your colors. There's our hands. Oh no, we don't want our hands because they're not gloves. They're actual skin hands. So I can kind of clear those out. Grab our pants. Pink. Call them pants. And our last one is our tunic right there. You can call that shirt. So all that's laid out, it's laid out on top of our avatar. It's all ID'd out. So I can go ahead and hit next step. These much must be included as part of the body. So it does want some part of the body. So what I'll do is I'll bring in the head and the hands, eyes, lashes, and teeth. But I'll probably end up deleting that avatar once I have it all set up. So let's go ahead and hit next step. Yep, all that's good. I can leave that as it is. It looks pretty good. Next step, it auto-mapped that out for us. So now it's going to split everything off, and then it's going to bring everything back in for us. So here's this avatar, and we've got the bad avatar. If we go to avatars, we can see Civ FBX right there. He's got all the clothes on him, which is neat, but we don't want those clothes. But we can see now if we wanted to, we could take that hair off. We could take the goatee off. We could take the tunic off. He doesn't have a body though, so let's see what happens if we were to add something else to this specific character. Let's add this City GRDS sweater. Take off our tunic. So it tries to work it with the character. It knows there's supposed to be a body there. It's struggling a little bit. So it kind of works, but not great. But more importantly is I have access to all of these items, the boots, the tunic, the pants, and I can put them on their own avatars. I'll take this top knot and move it above the tunic. If I wanted to, you could take this belt and bring it all the way to the top. If you do that, it looks like he's got 2 belts, a little Kingdom Heartsy. I don't need that many belts. But you can see here's this character ready to go. So let's go ahead and swap avatars. Let's put this on, we can put it on Karlach, I love Karlach, but let's go ahead and put it on Trey here. Transfer it over. I always use the ladies, Peyton and Bernice. Let's use Trey. Trey was one of the first metahumans I brought in. Tailoring, tweaking. And look, that outfit has now transformed. It is now on Trey. And like I said, beards are weird, so I'd probably get rid of the beard. Hair's doing okay. It might take some tweaks, but if you don't love that, you can always put your own hair on there. But now he's wearing that suit of armor. Look at how easy this would be to quickly clothe a whole bunch of civilians or a whole bunch of city guards in your video game. You can have one set of armor, you can bring that armor in, break it all down in the Mesh Extractor, and then flip this. We can go from Trey, we can put it on Karlach. Change avatar, transfer it over. We can flip this over. Oh, her knees are messed up from the original avatar importation. So that's why we're seeing a little weird. The hair's trying to stretch around the ears. So let's go ahead and give it to... Let's give it to this big orc guy. Let's see how that works. Something truly not the same size. It's doing okay. We're breaking a little bit in our arms. I expect the back to break out, but look at that. It's fitting, like the chest right there, that's fitting pretty good. It'll take some tweaking, but it's getting there. All right, we'll bring it back to our Civ FBX here. And we'll go ahead and we'll import that SWAT. All right, I'll go ahead and save this. Now for you, Loopy, hopefully you're still hanging out with us. Hopefully you're still here. Let's go ahead and bring in the SWAT guy. So you can see in a couple streams past, we've got kind of an apocalypse person, but we've got this SWAT option right here that we brought in when we were featuring gloves. More of like a blacked out night suit. Today I've got one with different night vision goggles and a gun as well. We'll go ahead and pull that one in. It's similar to this, but a little bit different. Once again, pulled off of Fab. That's the closest I have to a police officer. We can check our marketplace too. Bear with me for 2 seconds while I move over to our marketplace. Sometimes our marketplace has things that YouTube doesn't like to see because of its puritanical nature. There we go. So I just like to open up the marketplace, clear out anything that would be considered inappropriate by YouTube standards. All right, let's type in police. Let's see if we can find something in our marketplace. So we've got some more military police. That's kind of the police we have right now. So if Loopy, if you can find me a police officer's uniform, a police officer's outfit that's a nice, good, high quality, I'll happily stream that for you. I'll throw that in there. All right, we got a tactical vest. Look at that. That's pretty good. We got tactical. Let's type in tactical, see if there's anything more like that. Some tactical ones. That's not looking too bad. I know we got a ghillie suit. Did they spell it like... Always say what I want to show tutorials and yeah, no, it's always tough to find. Oh, and of course, there's those bodies I wanted to avoid in our search. All right, let's go to design. I got another character pulled up called SWAT 2. Let's go ahead and import this one and see how well we do. I'm going to go to Avatar, take it on back, and let's take a look at SWAT right there. I'm going to grab the correct one this time, SWAT FBX. Go ahead and hit open. All right, so we got a really cool character here. Let's take a quick peek by hitting next step. And yes, awesome, everything I set up. These are all the names I gave it in Maya, so it remembered all of those for me. I'll change the name to SWAT. It's gonna pull in an avatar again. That's okay. But you can see here's our outfit, a little bit different, a little change to our other SWAT. We've got more of a flak vest and a utility kind of belt and pack here. Got whatever this gun is. It's funny, when I pulled this FBX in, at least I thought it was funny. Originally, the body and the helmet were all just one solid mesh, no named, but this gun had like 52 separate parts that I combined together. So when I first looked at this guy and the parts, it had body and then a list of like 50 parts for the gun, for the trigger, for the mechanisms, for the, I can't think of gun names. I'm an animator. But all the different parts of a gun you'd find in a gun were listed out like item by item, almost down to the bolts. So I thought that was funny. All right, let's go ahead and add some color to this. We've got our headgear 01. Go to our textures. Headgear base. Let's make sure that's right. Yep, there it is. That's going to just give us some really good. That gave us our face too. That's awesome. Do we have normal maps for our headgear? I don't. Yep, normal map. I was about to say I don't see it, but nope, there's a nice normal map. That's going to really elevate our... Can it not read it because it's OpenGL? Oh no, I read it. It just took a second. There it goes. Well, look how cool that looks. I really love the look of that. It had some ambient occlusion. Let's drop some ambient occlusion in there. Did it have a roughness? It had a metallic. It had an emissive. Oh, we have one with an emissive. Awesome. Subsurface scattering, we can't match that right now, but we've got a metallic, so I'll put that under our roughness. Oh, no, you know what? We have a metalness. I'll do that. Take our metallic up. There we go. Okay, it's working for our glass. And we've got an emissive. I love when we have textures with a little bit of emissive. Where is it? Oh, man, I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Ooh, it's on the face. Okay. That's cool. It's kind of casting light backwards like that onto the face. You can see it a little bit there reflected in the top. Awesome. That's our headgear. Let's grab our body. Body base color. Bring our value way up. There it is. He's more like a military SWAT, it looks like. Take a look at our headgear. Was the value pretty low? It was a little low. We can dial that value up a little bit more. Body. Body normal. Ambient occlusion on our body. He's got gloves. That'll be fun. I don't know. We'll see if our Mesh Extractor does gloves. I've never tried it before. I put it on the roughness this time. Body emissive, no body emissive. That's fine. There's our body. KSVR. I think this is our kit. KSVR base color. Nope, just our gun. So the kit here, that was part of the body. Okay. That's what I was looking for. A little bit more detail around all this stuff right here. I was hoping for like a decal or something, but I guess we don't have any decals on it. We can add a little bit to this gun right here. That's a big one. That's taking a second to apply the texture. There we go. That's looking pretty cool. It said it had an emissive. I don't see it though. And then if we wanted to add something in for our eyelashes, I could drop those eyelashes right there. Because that's going to be the only part of this avatar that remains. All right, let's go to our Mesh Extractor. Next step. So we got the balaclava. I'm going to call that a headpiece. We got our coat. I'm going to call that a... Call that a shirt. And our flak jacket right here. If I wanted this to be part of the shirt as well and have that kind of pull in, you can if you didn't want that to be separate. But I do want that to be separate, so I'm going to go ahead and call that right there. And I'm going to call this a vest. Yeah, I'm going to call this a vest. The gear, I'm going to call a backpack. The gloves. Do we have gloves? We do have gloves. Awesome. We got the gun. Can I bring the gun in as an accessory? I can. So our head right here, that's going to be our actual avatar. So I'll leave that one be. Oops, I just did it again. Helmet. That's going to be a head. Its own separate head piece. You can have 2 head pieces. As long as they're different colors, it'll import them separately. Pants. Call it pants. And shoes. Call it shoes. All right, there we go. There's the whole character in the Mesh Extractor ready to go. It'll import that as an avatar. So we'll hit next step. And we just gotta hope for the best. This is the one downside to doing it like this when it's not a proper character. But then we can go ahead and hit next step. Let it think, let it execute it for us. And let's see how it looks. All right. Come on, come on, come on. There it goes. This is going to look really good. Oh, mesh landmarks are incomplete for glove support. That's fine. So he was kind of holding this across his chest, but I'm going to put this on his hand. Ooh, almost perfect. Almost perfect. You can always edit it. It's like a sweet spot, like right there. All right, so we got a little bit of an issue right here. We can probably fix that by cranking up our thickness a little bit. Right there, there it goes. It looks good right there. Let's grab our jacket right here. Our jacket should be kind of underneath everything. Our baklava, jacket, flat gear, gloves. Gloves can go under our jacket. Gun, helmet, pants. Pants can go under our jacket. Shoes can go under our pants. Gloves can go above that. Baklava can go above that. Apologize if I'm saying baklava in a way that frustrates you. Off the top of my head, it's one of those things that I've only read. One of those words I've only read. All right, so we just got a little hiccup right here. So let's go ahead and take this jacket and let's give this a little shrink wrap, make it a little smaller. Still not working. We added some thickness to this guy. You can add a little bit more thickness. Add a little less yield, so it kind of pushes some of this stuff out a little bit. Oh, it also doesn't help that I'm on the backpack and not the actual flak jacket underneath. That's not helpful. Looks good right there. Please keep it up. Yield. Yeah, we're looking for police clothes. That's what we're hunting for today. All right, let's pull you back a little bit then. And hit confirm. I don't know why you keep getting pushed outwards. So let's go ahead and grab our push-pull. Let's sculpt layered. Nice big brush, and just kind of, oh, no, other way. Push, 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 push. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Push, 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 push. Push, push. So it could just be a factor of the model itself. Confirm. Huh. That's really strange, even after pushing it like that. It looks really good, like before we before it does its tailoring. So, I mean, the way to work around that is to grab this shirt because it is so like pretty much below everything. And it could be also that we built this with an avatar that doesn't exist. That could be causing some of the issue. So if I take this coat and I uncheck effects layering, basically stops that coat from transforming. And so you can see that's a quick way to kind of fix that right there in the moment and still get a good looking character. Let's go to our viewport settings. We didn't do this with the last guy. We can go ahead and see, whoa, okay, undo. It doesn't like that. I don't know, okay, it's got a Mixamo rig, so that's really strange that the Mixamo rig is causing such a wild issue. We'll go back to our pine pose, we won't do that, which means I'll clear our gun. But let's try this on a different avatar. Let's transfer this over to... Got a couple weird ones, but let's just put it on our regular... Where's my MetaTailor? MetaTailor 2025. MetaTailor guy. And see how well it looks on this. Not too bad. Once again, we'll need a couple little fixes here. Thickness, make it a little thicker. It does affect layering still, so that's still looking better in that place right there. Pull the whole thing down a little bit. Maybe scale it down, scale it like that a little bit, and pull it down. Confirm, pants. Do the opposite, pull them up a little bit. Firm, add some thickness to those pants, especially in this bedonk area. There you go. Gloves not supported right now through our Mesh Extractor. I'd have to re-import those gloves. And you could always take each of these items out individually in Maya. That just takes a lot of time. Let's say you just wanted to grab a really fast character here. This is just such a great way to do that with your Mesh Extractor. Now I've got this really cool night vision helmet ready to go in my content browser. Whatever character I want. So there he is. Let's go ahead and give this one some animation. And there it goes. That outfit's ready to go. So other avatar, little borked, little broken. That's okay. This one right here, where's a better one? There's standing cover. Where's our walking with a rifle? Walk with rifle. But yeah. Will there be a function to brush weights in the future? For example, the weight of the shirt between the legs is not so good. We get this question a lot. We get asked this. We know that there is a desire for it. We know that there is some interest in that. I personally can't speak to that. I know we've got some MetaTailor magicians hanging out with us, so maybe they can answer in the chat for us. But I have heard that before, that would be a feature that people would like. One of the big things with that, and the reason why we haven't released it right now or anything like that, is skin weighting, skin painting is a little bit niche, and we're trying to keep this very user-friendly, user-simple. But that's definitely a feature I think is being talked about because, look at you, Legendary Smart Talks, you want it, and you're not the first person to have asked for that. So I believe, I don't want to speak too candidly without some assurances or permissions from the team. But otherwise, that is something that is possible. All right, I really want to see this helmet on another character. So I'm going to clear the gear, clear the coat, clear the baklava, clear the pants, clear the shoes. I mean, this flak jacket's really cool too. I want to see these on another avatar. Let's put them on Peyton. We can try to mix this. So flak jacket looking pretty good. I can maybe make it a little smaller all around. Confirm for her more slighter body shape. Helmet also very big. I can start to make that a little bit smaller. I'll make it a little bigger than that. Confirm on both of those. And let's hop over to my content browser and throw some stuff underneath this. Mix this with some other clothing that I have. Let's go to our pants. Something like these heretic pants that I brought in from a previous stream. We can start to create something really cool looking with this flak jacket and the night vision helmet. Let's go clothing. Those are pants. Let's go for a shirts. Something a little dystopian. We got a green camo shirt. I could always throw that on underneath. It's looking more like a civilian militia here. Less true, kind of professional. We could throw on... What's something good? Let's look at jackets. Army service shirt underneath. Heck, we can throw on Star-Lord's coat on top of this. That's looking a little silly. Instead of Star-Lord's coat, I do like Wolverine's coat a little bit better. Once again, a little silly. Ooh, this Army service coat right here might be a little bit better. A little bit more formal. Underneath the flak jacket still. And clear that flak jacket. We can see this night vision goggle right here looking really cool. I really like that I have that now. Like I said, if I wanted to, I can go into my avatars. If I don't like SWAT right here, I can delete this one. Delete the avatar, but all of those other items stay. My shoes, my pants, my helmet, all of that stays in my clothing. Now that avatar is just the only thing that's gone. Let's create something cool just for now to throw into our viewport. All right, let's go ahead and hit save. And let's take this home. All right, I still got the Japanese soldier and these civilians. Let's go ahead and go new project. We'll call this one the civilian. Not civilian, this is survival. That's what it was called. Survival. And it's just supposed to be like this wilderness character. So let's go to import, avatars, desktop, survival character. This FBX I did not run through Mixamo. This is the only one I did not do that to. So this is using a different rig. And you can see when I did this, I had a little panic because we got a Mr. Fantastic head going on right here. But that's just because of some weird bind information from Maya. So if you just check this box right here, apply pose, it'll bring it back to normal. So don't get too scared about that. I like this guy because he had gloves. He's got these little kind of ID markers on here. We can go in and go into our color. Oh, I don't have colors for this guy. That's right. So yeah, so we'll just move forward with it. Next step. This was off of Fab, so they didn't give me anything fun like that. You can see you got your backpack. You've got your gloves, your hair, your jacket, your jeans, and your shoes. And you can just go through it quickly like that and just kind of set all the colors, and then you can go through and quick pick all of these features. Matching names. And look how quickly I just hit next step. Just take a look at this, make sure it looks roughly okay. Because he doesn't have a body under there. And that quickly, what was that? Less than 30 seconds, maybe a minute total. And now I've just imported all those clothes through the Mesh Extractor. It's put it onto an avatar. I can swap out the avatar here in a second. The only thing that won't swap will be the fingers. A little bit of a hiccup with the jeans and jacket. Just flip those right there. Oh, look at that. That's how easy it was. Just a flip. A quick flip in my dynamic layering. Still a little hiccup. Bring it down a little bit more. Bring below the backpack. Maybe that's what's messing it up. I almost used the French word for that. But now let's go to our current content browser, go to our avatars. Let's flip it out for this Ben character that I have. Now he's wearing the puffy jacket, the survival backpack, the boots, and all that stuff. It's still tailoring, still thinking it out. Like I said, the gloves won't transfer over, so I can cut the gloves. Backpack's right there, awesome. Only thing this is remembering some old, Ben is one of the ones I added a little weight to a long time ago. So it is just remembering the new blend shapes that we have. An old blend shape where I made him a little bit bigger. So let's go to a different avatar. Transfer it to our MetaTailor main. And there you go, got rid of that belly. So I was just remembering an old blend shape. I should probably delete that character. We'll do that right now. Be gone. Backpack is under the coat for some reason. Oh, backpack should be on top of the coat. That's why. Like, what's it doing? Under 30 seconds. Mesh Extractor. We got clothes. We're able to transfer it to avatars. This won't have Oh, no, it does have animations. Let's see. Look at that. And this is just a random rig off the web. There's a chance that the random rig off the web use Mixamo as well. That's always a good chance. Everybody uses Mixamo rigs. They're just so easy. And you get all those free animations. But you got a character ready to go. And look at it, brought the hair. I didn't even like clock that it brought the hair so well. It's attaching to the back of the head. Sometimes the hair has a little bit of trouble. All right, we'll save that out. And let's do our final Mesh Extractor, just kind of once again highlighting this really cool look to it. New project called our Japanese soldier. Losing my ability to talk here. Import avatar. And it's going to be my FBX right there. This one was brought into, whoa, that's new. That tells me something's gonna go wrong with this Mixamo rig. But here you go, you got this Japanese soldier, or I guess it said Japanese when I downloaded it online. I might not know my flags. I might not know what war this is from, if it's from any war, but it's just a cool kind of outfit. I thought it was neat, nice and low poly. I like the backpack that was on it. Reminded me of my days playing Axis and Allies, the board game. Shout out to anybody who is cool like me. Does not like that normal map. I know this is in version 2 though. Is it version 2? Nope, it's not version 2. Just doesn't like the normal map. What are the maps that it had? Just a specular. Throw that on the roughness real quick. No. All right, next step. Let's go through it. Backpack, belt, boots, coat, eyes, hands, hat, and pants. Knock them out. Backpack, belt, shoes, coat. It's going to be a jacket. I was looking for the word coat. Hat. It's going to be head, pants. Right there. There we go. Fast breakdown. Once again, like 30 seconds. Take a peek at this. Make sure everything's kind of in the right spot. We don't have an avatar, so we're doing our best. But it's a really fun, fast way to pull in all of these items. Oh, look at that. That was something I didn't check in the textures beforehand. They painted their ambient occlusion into the actual clothes. So this will be less usable. You can see that right there and right there. Let's rearrange this in our dynamic layering. Super fast, super easy. Puts everything in the right spot, wraps it properly. So at least we can still use this really cool backpack on other avatars and other characters. Like I said, I am 90% positive that this will not work, but let's go ahead and do a running. Yep, oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's horrible, it's awful, the Mixamo rig isn't working, but it's not working in the best possible way. All right, let's throw this onto another character, show you how easy that is now that we have all these pieces in here ready to go. Avatars. Let's throw it on, I can throw it on Max. Max is always fun. We can put it on, let's just keep going back to our meta. We know this one works and we know it has good animation. Our regular MetaTailor character here. Needs a little tweaking that we kind of grabbing the jacket here, maybe adding a little thickness right there. The pants are doing the same thing, add a little thickness back there. And that's all it took. That's all it took to get this outfit on our character right here. Go to our viewport settings. A proper run. Pants probably need a little bit more thickness. Still peeking out just a little bit there, but overall, it's done. We got that backpack for other characters. All right, are there any questions? Anybody have anything you want to take a look at? That's pretty much everything I had to go over today. In the interim, while I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to hop on and have me display anything or show anything, I'll quick create a new project and call this Stream Fun. And let's try to combine a lot of these assets that we just brought in. I love this backpack. I liked this hair. Let's come on down, grab some of these other assets. I want that helmet, but I got the hair. It's a good coat. What else do we have? Hello, I brought Plopan yesterday. I would like to ask if Pro product in the store can still be used after the subscription period ends. Can it still be used for commercial copyright? That's a great question, Kai Wang. I'm going to have to reference that over to our MetaTailor magicians because that's getting a little bit in the legalese portion of it. I know so with Pro you get an unlimited, like I have right here, an unlimited amount of slots. All of these slots right here. If you cancel the Pro, it dials you back down to about 5 slots. So you will lose anything that's not in your top 5. And by top 5, I mean 5 most recent. So that's something to watch out for. I have a feeling that if you have Pro, you've dressed your character in some Pro outfits, and you reduce it from Pro back to our normal membership, what you'll end up getting is kind of like our try-on feature, where it'll show your character in that outfit, but you won't be able to export it out. I believe the idea is if you have the Pro membership, that's when you can kind of use this content in your programs and stuff like that, but I'm not seeing an answer from MetaTailor. So I'm going to go ahead and, whoever is in the chat with me, pitch this over and see if I can't get an answer for you tonight. But also feel free to throw that into, let me find our team chat. There we go. And you know what? I'm also going to grab Legendary Smart Talks question and throw that over as well. So we'll see if we get an answer to that in the next 7 minutes here or so. But I have we'll if not, throw that in our Discord. Join our Discord community. That's a great place for that question because you've got Jordan, you got Graham, our founders, you got all of our other developers and other team members. I just don't know the actual legalese behind that. I can show you all the Pro features are. I am your resident MetaTailor expert on knowing where everything is, how to use it and stuff like that. But when you get into the nitty gritty of copyright, that's where I get a little hesitant to answer. All right, so we got the cool backpack. I love this flak jacket. It reminds me of Team Fortress 2. Am I forgetting the guy's name? Bomber? Scottish guy. Team Fortress 2 characters. It's been so long since I played Team Fortress 2. I know there's the heavy Demo Man. I can't believe I forgot about Demo Man's name. It just reminds me of Demo Man, and I think that's so cool. Hair. I don't want the hair being affected by the flak jacket, so let's take the yield. If it'll let me. That's some pretty cool hair, though. What is the yield doing for us? It doesn't like that. So you could always also take effects layering off, and it'll just kind of attach it to the head like that. But it doesn't like the flak jacket. So I'm going to take the flak jacket over the hair any day of the week. What other fun things do I have in here? We've got the flared jeans. Nothing like some flared jeans and flak jackets. Let's find a cool shirt. The Mad Max top is always very cool. Ghillie suit and a flak jacket. It defeats the purpose of a ghillie suit, but you can kind of see that together. That's almost a character. It doesn't make sense, but it's pretty cool. Got some of the heretic stuff in here. Grab the heretic boots. This is like somebody who went to an army surplus store and bought a ghillie suit, not really understanding what the purpose of it was. But they still really wanted it. This is a cool glove. Oh, it's blue though. Let's get rid of that glove. And let's do this glove. This avatar should support gloves. I think it's just being weird. Let's see, I got some answers. Yes, you can use pro content still after canceling. And we were looking into skin weight editing like I had guessed. So I'll quick reply. I don't know how to reply. Skin weight is being considered. We are looking into it. So that's the official answer. And then Kai, yes, you can still use pro content after canceling. There we go. 2 official answers from the MetaTailor team. All right, so we got this fun, weird ghillie. Nothing else I think I really want to... Oh, I'll add that. Like I said, this is an army surplus. I'm calling this our army surplus warrior. Only because he put stuff on top of the ghillie suit. Confirm. There we go. Give him whole walking with rifle. Almost there. Almost perfect. I'd also like to ask, I downloaded and saved the clothes, but I'm not sure where they will be placed. Is there a way to choose the path? So that's when you go into exporting. So if I wanted to export out our ghillie suit warrior right here, I would go to my export settings right here. And you can choose your path. You can see mine's going to the desktop. It's going to export the entire thing out as an FBX. If you want to take the clothes out separately, you might have to go ahead and like knock out each piece of clothing and do one clothing piece at a time, unchecking the avatar. Alternatively, you could export everything out. I could take out the skin weights and the clean bones. I don't need the Unreal 5.5 fix because I want to bring this into something like Maya. And then you can separate all those out in Maya or another program like Blender. So that's where you can kind of create that path and export this out and grab what you need to grab. Then I'll export out the files. Sorry, my brain froze. The files and then the textures that go along with it. So let's give it a quick check. Let's give it a try. Save export preset. Select name for the no, cancel. I went to hit name. How do you guys spell Gilly? I know how to spell like that. Gilly. Export. Let's give it a shot. It opens it up for us. I don't have Maya open anymore. Let me quick open up Maya. There, took all the textures. All the different textures. And where will the clothes downloaded from the store be stored on the hard drive? I believe that is more of a temp file. That is not an actual file that you can access and pull from. That's like an internal file type. Yeah, app data temp. But your best option, I probably wouldn't mess with that. I would just export it out and say grab our Gilly. Blender's free. You can pull it out all out in Blender, but then each piece is a proper FBX that you can then mess with, pull out, and adjust as needed in Maya. So that would be my recommendation. I would not go into the app data or temp files. That's extra messy. But yes, there it is. And you can bring all those textures in. All right, go home. Don't save the changes. And delete. All right. That's it for tonight's stream. Thank you, Kai, for hanging out. Thank you, Saw, for watching. Thank you, Legendary Smart Talks. Thank you, Warren Wang. Thank you, Loopy. All of you who had those great questions as we went through. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. That is the Mesh Extractor. That was the theme of today's stream. So if you're at GDC tomorrow, shoot a chat out in our Discord channel. Let us know. See if you can't meet up with some of us. If you have any questions or concerns, drop them in the YouTube comments, drop them on Discord, join us, like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow along with all our streams. This stream runs every week with me, usually on Saturday nights. Next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday in a couple days, 2 days from now, Jordan has taken over my wonderful, lovely stream. He has stolen it from me and cast me to the side. But it's going to be an amazing stream about Character Creator 4 and MetaTailor's integration. So join us for that stream. I believe it's going to be on YouTube this time. To get more information on that, once again, join us on our Discord channel. So much happens on our Discord channel. It's an amazing community. If you've got questions or concerns, we've got a whole bunch of different users who can answer questions about MetaTailor or Maya, Blender, Unreal Engine, anything like that that you have a problem with. It's just a brilliant community of game developers that you can join and throw your questions out to. And then, of course, like I said, next Saturday, not this upcoming one, but the one after that, I don't know if there will be a stream. I will not be around. If there's a stream, it'll be somebody else. But keep an eye out for the week after that when I return and I join us for our stream. All right. That's it for me. Go ahead. Get out of here.